broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular of Osborne singing came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Qualifying has ended. The drivers are taking the grid this evening. Nicholas Baumann in the 88. They are back this evening, and he's going to put it on pole. Justin Lee Pearson on the outside. Trevor Haley, Ryan Wilson, a great qualifying effort there. P4, James Smith, Blaine Snyder, Derek Jacobs, Stephen Connor, Kyle Cameron, and Tommy Rogers round out the top 10. We'll keep moving through the grid here. Rounding out the field, looks like it's going to be the Angry Wives car of Zach Cato. No, we got a couple more hidden in here. Couple more guys. Evan Perry is going to round out the field this evening. The 24 cars already having problems. Oh boy. What we could have in store for this evening. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the race info here. It is a cool 65 degrees. The track is a cool 65 degrees as well for these drivers. Track temp should be down. Grip should be no problem. A new setup on board this evening for these guys. Well, this should be some really great racing from Talladega here this evening as these drivers get ready to go 100 laps around the Talladega Super Speedway. Nick Baumann's going to get this thing kicked off for us as they roll down the back straightaway here. And a new looking paint scheme there for the 88. I believe we have a couple new paint schemes for these guys. I believe Kyle Cameron, also a winner just a few nights ago in the 55 machine. I believe, yes, he has got a new paint scheme on board. Same thing with some of these guys behind them. You see the 13. That's a new looking scheme. Derek Jacobs in the 7. Out there as these guys roll through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to get this thing kicked off here from Talladega. The pace truck is out there. We are trying a new stream here tonight. We are doing it on Twitch this evening. We're going to see how this all works out for us. So if it's your first time watching the stream, welcome and thanks for coming out. The pace truck pulls down pit road. The leaders are free to go in the Geico restart zone. So Nick Baumann will do just that. 100 laps from the Talladega Superspeedway begins now for the S&M Iracing Motorsport Series.
Green, green, green.
Nick Bauman continues to lead the fields into turns 3 and 4 with his teammate just behind him. A new setup on board this evening should lead to some really high speeds. A little less tape on these machines. They should be able to push just a little bit longer around Talladega. I was told to be expecting speeds well over 205 miles an hour in the pack. You see here the lead car doing 202. So we should see, we got some 3-4 wide action a little further in the back here. They get it sorted out and go back 2 wide without it getting too crazy. A couple cars separated from the lead pack there, but we will be stage racing again this evening. I believe we'll have 25, 50, and 75 for your stages this evening. Another thing we'll have to keep an eye on is these guys, as always, do not have a full fuel load on board. So, pit strategy, getting on and off pit road is going to be very hectic for some of these guys trying to get these cars woed up from the speeds that they are at. Let's go ahead and take a look on board. Some guys maybe a little further in the back of the pack here. Blaine Snyder riding P7. Some great onboard shots from these cars going around Talladega. Kevin Dixon here in 14th. These guys breathing the throttle, trying to not run over the cars in front of them. See what the speeds are like a little further back here in the pack. Just about 200, now over 200, halfway down the back straightaway. This is the 14th car line. So these cars are flying around here. Onboard shot here, Ricky Miles. You see the 3 rod there with Matt Brown, Peyton Snyder, and Kevin Dixon. Blaine Snyder on the outside, kind of falling back. Not enough help up there just yet, as Nicholas Bauman continues to lead us around the racetrack with James Smith and Trevor Haley just behind. We had an awesome race from Chicagoland last evening. It is up on YouTube under CSR Broadcasting on YouTube. Couple videos from the past races from these guys out here. We should see a lot of green flag racing tonight, as so far everyone has remained fairly calm here in this front pack. We are hovering about a 26 car field here this evening, a little smaller than normal. We put the password in last second, so maybe some guys didn't get the information they needed. This was more of just a test this evening for these guys. But we do have some news up and coming. We are going to have a money race soon. We're going to post all those details in the Discord and on the Facebook. That will bring out the aggressiveness for some of these guys when they know money is on the line. It'll be a month-long series, probably at least a Saturday a month for 4 weeks. Points will be given out. It'll be an array of racetracks. It won't just be Talladega, Daytona. There'll be some mixtures in there. You see the third line starting to get going, but more details to come on that. That is going to be a ton of fun. You see the 12 car, awesome throwback looking scheme there. The 12 also changing up his paint job tonight. The 24 is in that rainbow machine back there as well, changing up a little bit, but a lot of these guys are running the same one. Jerry Fassett back here in the 18th position on the bottom, that bright painted yellow and purple 71 machine, another car that is painted by one of the drivers. Awesome looking paint job on that. But Jerry, your number's upside down on the top, brother. It's facing the wrong way. Maybe it's the wrong way to us. Maybe that's the way he likes it. It looks good going that way when it's coming by the camera. Zach Cato is back here in this pack here, just maybe biding their times. I'm waiting on the official word. In the 18 tonight, Cato. Did somebody steal your number? Don't see you in the 18 very often. The 29 needs to get in line. He is not going to help this. Yes, right there. Just see it. The 6 is behind our regular 6 car. Oh, looks like Cato's got some damage to the nose. He may have been involved in a checkup, a stack up there at some point. He'll get that thing back moving. Well, while we have most of the pack right here, we got some 3 wide action. We got some moving around. Let's go ahead and crank it up. Nicholas Bauman continuing to lead on the inside there. Looks like the high side is trying to get something going there with Peyton Snyder and Kyle Cameron on leading that outside group. Matt Brown now jumping up, maybe just a little warm, need to move around. You see the other 24 car moving around as well. So the top three, I should say the top four, haven't really moved from their starting positions. Derek Jacobs is up a couple spots, up 3 spots up to P4, but right now these guys are being pretty tame. They know they have 100 laps to go around Talladega here. Let's get a look on board with the Mr. CEO, the one car of James Smith following around the 12 of Trevor Haley right now, just biding their time, logging some laps, maybe trying to get an idea of what the fuel load is going to be on these cars. It's the third lane. Matt Brown trying to get that third lane moving here, but not much success up top just yet. Alex LeBeau here in the Rainbow 24 machine. Ryan Wilson going by him on the outside with his teammate Tommy Rogers. Steve Darling, a great onboard shot here behind the 24. Some awesome shots. Justin Pearson up here. One of the guys who was really putting on a show last night at Chicagoland. Really, really great performance from him. Unfortunately gets caught up in a last lap incident. Him and the 17 man, they were going after it last night, leaving it all on the line. It was extremely entertaining until a late caution changed the whole dynamic of that race. They were on a long green flag run. Tires were starting to wear out, catching lap traffic. It really was coming down to who could get through the traffic and who could get the tires. Justin took the lead for a moment, then they went down pit road, took 2 tires, and eventually the 4 tires worked out for Peyton Snyder. He fell back a little bit on a restart, but then the 4 tires really started to pay off for him, and he came away with the win last evening. Well, we're on our leader, Nick Bauman, here in the 4-Wide Racing League on the K Bueno channel of YouTube. He was able to go out there and snag the all-star win in that racing series. Very, very difficult. There's some contact there from the 26 and 24 and the 88. Some pushes maybe getting them a little out of shape here. The leaders now side by side, coming to line 2 by 2. This time around, it is going to be Matt Brown that gets the lap in his 24 painted machine. Now they drop to the inside, leaving the outside for Kyle Cameron and Kevin Dixon to try to move their way forward. You see the momentum get lost of the 88 there, and those guys rocket around the high side. Now can the 55 and 009 do the same? On the outside lane, you see a huge shove here from Kevin Dixon, going to launch the 55 out into P1. Now, which lane does the 55 stay in? Do they want to stay up top? Do they want to stay down low? Looks like Evan Perry might be coming out of the pits here. Not sure if that was a strategy call, if he got damaged, if we missed something. I saw Peyton Kaleba also leaving pit road. So maybe something happened a little further in the back. These guys trying to get some pit strategy out of the way here. Maybe trying to short pit these guys and cycle back to the lead. But unfortunately, going a lap down is not going to help them. You saw the 55 drop to the bottom. 24 tried a big move on the 34. Made a little contact. We're going on the outside. Tommy hangs on to that. You see the 24 trying to get the side draft of the 009 and pull him off the 55 as they start to move around the leaders. Starting to get, guys are getting a little bit more comfortable with the setup, trying to figure out what's going to work, what's going to get them there, what moves they can make, how much wheel you can put into it. And you see the lead changing hands 3 or 4 times as we have some cars coming down pit road. So looks like some of these guys, looks like we're on about 13 laps. 88 getting it checked up there very last second, pulls the outside of the 55. Now who needs to pit first? Nick Bauman's going to have the last stop, so he'll be fine. The 12 might have to get down before the 35. No, it looks like it's all going to work out for these guys as they come on the pit road. Here comes James Smith, Derek Jacobs, Tommy Rogers, Kyle Cameron, Gavin Schilling, John Miles is also in, Trevor Haley, Nick Bauman, and Blaine Snyder is also on pit road as these guys get ready to roll out of pit lane here. Well, that camera didn't do us much good, so we'll see on that. We'll go back and check on the leader, Matt Brown, is leading with Justin Lee Pearson. We should see them either this time or next time around. Oh, the 58 jumping out of line there, maybe not knowing they're coming down pit road. They're all trying to get checked up now. And they all, the 009 sliding, Ricky Miles sliding in, but they're going to make it onto pit road. So looks like 14 laps is about all you are going to get out of your fuel cell in this one. 24 really struggling to get in his box. He overshoots it by a lot there, trying to get it backed up. Uh-oh. Did we blow it up downshifting? Did we run it out of fuel? Looks like we may have run it out of fuel in the 24 car, so he's going to have to tow from just beyond his box there. Justin Lee Pearson going to beat them off pit road, but then we will get a look back at where this pack is coming. That first pack had a lot of problems coming on and off pit road. You see it there. This pack should blow their doors off going through turns 1 and 2 up to the 24. As soon as they get to the 58, that will clear them to the lead, and yes, they will be gone by a long shot. You see the 58 out there all by himself, no help up behind him, so that is really going to drop these guys back. Now, if we are going to lap 25, that should get them to the stage. So now how calm do these guys want to be up here in this front pack to make sure that it's just them racing for the stage win? Get a look on board here of Kyle Cameron. I love this shot, one of my favorite shots that this has to offer. The gyro cam as well on these cars. You can really get a sense of the banking and just how difficult it is to see for these checkups and everything that's happening in front of you. You really have to be aware there. Yeah, you see 33 degrees of banking around the Talladega Superspeedway here. Onboard shot here with Blaine Snyder as well. Justin Lee Pearson, you see those guys, how far out they got. The 24s got back to the back bumper of the 58 machine. Now he has some help. Kevin Dixon and these guys and Tommy Rogers all in line. So now, who can push who better here? Can the second pack catch up to the front pack here? They are about 5.3 seconds behind. That is a lot of time to try to make up in 9 laps. Although you can do it if you are doing it right, if you change the second car in line to keep that push continuously going, not getting too hot. Although that is a ton of time to make up. Well, we've seen this song and dance before. He's usually in an 8. Sometimes he's in an 88. Either way, it's going to be a Dale Jr. scheme for Nicholas Baumann. And right behind him, Trevor Haley. So now we've seen these teammates battle it to the line, whether it's the checker flag or stages. We are coming to that point yet again here at Talladega to see what's going on. But while we have the time, let's go a little further back. Check on the 18 of Zach Cato tonight. Looks like he might be saving his fast repair. Knowing he has damage, it's all right. He's just going to ride around this first little bit. Try to save one of those fast repairs to later on in the race. The 67 has found Matt Brown. We saw the issues he had on pit road. Matt Brown is on the lead lap, but you saw him go from first to 23rd. He is almost 30 seconds behind the lead pack. So we said it earlier, getting on and off pit road is going to be huge for your race this evening. Evan Perry working with the 31 machine there. Peyton Klebbett looks like he is the last car in the pack, still riding P26, just drafting a lap down. Now, can this pack catch the second group, form one big super group, and run down these leaders? It's going to take a lot for these guys on the racetrack to do that, because that is some seriously substantial time to make up. And as of now, this front 6 has actually started to pull away. They're up to 5.8 seconds, so these guys just pushing a little bit better in this lead group. I am only assuming we are doing 25 for the stage, because that is usually what we do when we do 100 laps around Talladega. We'll get the official word from these guys when the yellow flag does come out. We always have one caution available to us in the stage, which we have not seen yet. So that could change the whole dynamic of this first stage as well if something were to happen on the racetrack. However, right now it looks like guys are being fairly calm. We'll have to check in on the second and third packs. Here, these two are closing up on each other just a little bit. That is where you might be able to see some chaos, but I think for now these guys are like, hey, we're getting a stage. It's only the first 25 laps. Let's not blow these things up and have to use are fast repairs this evening and lose track position, so I'm sure they are just going to ride. So Nick Bauman, Trevor Haley, Peyton Snyder, Kyle Cameron, James Smith, and Blaine Snyder, all your top 6 as they run right now. Nick Bauman continues to lead, and he, like we always say, Mr. Talladega is always a problem at this racetrack. He is always a tough one to beat here from Talladega. And it looks like it is going to be no different this evening here. Let's go back and take a look at the 19 machine of Nate Bladesdale here riding around. He has found himself by himself. Some of the more boring laps around Talladega, you're basically just doing a qualifying effort out there by yourself, no draft help. But with the stages upcoming, it should help him have a more enjoyable race. Ryan Wilson, Steve Darling, and Ricky Miles all right here in this pack. And then Gavin Schilling, Jerry Fassett, Derek Jacobs, Daniel L. Smith is coming. No, he is just a little out of shape. We saw him with this second pack just a little bit ago, so I wonder if they had a little contact. Yeah, the 009 is out of line to 34. That might be a planned move. The 009 might be hot from pushing. They're going to try to swap these cars in and out. So their temps, they will push them until they get about as hot as they can get, and then you should see the swap yet again, maybe in a lap or two from the 34 car, depending on what the temps are right now on the racetrack. So these guys are actually still continuously, well, they have caught about a 10th. A 10th is not going to get it done for these guys, but this strategy and practicing it now could be huge for the later stages of this race. Making sure you can push until you get hot, where it's about to blow out, step out of line, cool down, let the third guy in line slide up to P2 because his motor should be cool, and keep pushing around Talladega. It's a huge part of the strategy here for these guys, and it's a great way to make up time. You see the 12 hanging the right front out from the back of the 88, keeping the temps cool, and that still no changes in your top 6 as it looks like we are coming to about 2 laps ago in the stage. You see some of the cars going by. Some great shots from the massive 2.66 mile super speedway of Talladega, Alabama, as we are coming to the final lap of this stage. We'll go back and check on up here. The 88 continues to lead, the 12 in second, 17, 55, 1, and 9 here all in this top group. Now we'll see, do these guys want to make a move, or are they just going to stay in line? I have a feeling, with considering you have you have 4 dark horse cars here in the 88, 12, 17, and the 9, and 2 friendly competitors in the 1 and the 55. You could easily see these guys laying back and making a move on this one to see who's going to come away with the first stage. As they come out of turn 2, you'll probably see the move from the 12 a little later, probably heading into the tri-oval to make sure he doesn't go from 2nd to 6th. As they go down the back straightaway, the 12 is trying to push him away from the 17. You see it there. The 12 got his motor cool enough to try to do that. Got a couple car lengths in between, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see the 12 car step out somewhere in the tri-oval or coming to there. No, not yet. Is he going to stay with him? Is he going to be a good teammate? He's going to get him a little out of shape, but right now it looks like the 12 is just confident in getting the 88 there a little late. Oh, the 12 puts it in the fence. So that is the first stage. Nick Bauman is going to get it done a little late on the move there, Trevor Haley, but Mr. Talladega going to take stage number 1. Well, I don't think we do have anyone a lap down, but if they did, you are free to get your lap back here at S&M under caution. They want everyone on the lead lap by the end of this thing here. You might see some of these guys going around the outside here. Looks like the 6 might be 1 lap down. Yes, he's going by the leaders here. Now the leaders have to check up and wait on the pace car. They are slowing down. Some awesome shots of that 88 Mountain Dew car that Nick has painted himself. Well, some of these cameras just love blocking the views from these RVs out here. So the dark horse 1, 2, 3 in the stage, Angry Wives Racing, driver of Kyle Cameron in P4, James Smith, right where he started the race in P5, and likewise for Blaine Snyder, P6, right where he started, and Nicholas Baumann as well, right where he started this race in P1. Well, the drivers are getting ready to roll down pit road here, as they have now caught, or I should say the pace car has caught them as they were waiting on at 205 miles an hour. It's tough for the pace car to catch them from a dead stop there. So the leaders are coming onto pit road. We'll see what kind of pit strategies we have on the racetrack. Some guys might opt to take their 4 tires now and just do 2 under the stage. Some guys might take lefts here to shorten up their pit stops, while other drivers might take their rights under yellow flag to not lose too much time under the green flag pit stops here. The 88 and 12 get in just fine. You see some guys further back. You see the left sides going up on the 12 car. No tires going up on the 88, so it looks like it's a fuel-only stop for Nick Baumann. Same thing for the 17 of Peyton Snyder, Blaine Snyder, Justin Lee Pearson, James Smith, and Trevor Haley. So opted for those tires. It's going to drop a couple spots for Trevor Haley. Kevin Dixon right there, Tommy Rogers. Same thing. It looks like it could have been a 4-tire stop for Kyle Cameron. He's going to lose some spots on pit road. And you see the Angry Wives racing car there, and Zach Cato coming out, and the rest of the field. So Nick Baumann will continue to lead us around this racetrack here while we have a second. The lights are still on in the pace car. Let's bring in the man that's going to have all the information for us this evening. Mr. James Smith, how are you, buddy?
What do you say, mister?
Oh, I'm having a blast up here, as we always do. We didn't see you last night. You were eating my favorite meal, a New York strip from Texas Roadhouse. How was that?
That was very, very good, buddy. It was very tasty.
Oh, that's good. All right, so I figured out we're doing 25, 50, 75 for the stages this evening. Do we have limited fast repairs this evening as well?
We got 5 fast repairs, buddy.
Only 5 this evening, so we saw a couple guys with some fender damage trying to not use it there. Maybe doing some just manual repairs under the yellow flag. Well, you are sitting right where you started in P5. Pretty calm that first stage. Flag to flag on the stage. You've got to be happy to see that.
Yeah, it was good. A lot of people's already commenting about, keeping her green. So, yeah, so hopefully the next few stages will do the same thing, buddy.
All right. Well, sometimes in the broadcast booth we like a little chaos. So, so at least the end of this thing, make sure we're 3 or 4 wide come to the end. All right. But right now we're enjoying the green flag runs.
10-4, buddy.
All right. Thanks, bud. James Smith, the CEO and founder of S&M Iracing Motorsports. Got some great things in the pipeline for these guys. Not going green this time. They must have one guy maybe still needing to get his pit stops out of the way. Looks like Evan Perry and Alex LeBeau are back on pit road. Evan, the brakes were working too good that time. Stopped a little short in his box. Alex Air in the 24 getting that machine rolling again here. So they're just going to delay maybe one more lap trying to figure out who needs to get their last lap back. Looks like Bradley Forsythe. Bradley, you're going to have to correct me on that one. That is a little bit different. I'll let you guys all up here try to decipher that. Tell me what you think the pronunciation is. I already probably butchered it pretty bad, so I won't do that to him again. We'll just call him Bradley for now. In the 6, catching back up to the pack along with the 29 of Peyton Kleba. Out there, still 26 cars on the field. Nick Baumann continuing to roll around this racetrack while the lights are off on the pace truck. Let's go ahead and bring in stage 1 winner, last night's all-star race winner, Mr. Talladega, Nick Baumann. Stage 1 already in the book.
How's it going, bud?
It's going. Well, pretty calm first stage there, flag to flag. You like to see that. How's the new setup handling?
Handles pretty good. From what Trevor said, you could cool off really quickly.
We definitely see a lot more pushing this evening. Able to stay on the bumpers a little longer. Is it making, well, I mean, I shouldn't ask you, but is it seeming like it's a little bit more difficult to pass? You only lost the lead for 3/4 of a turn, it looked like.
It sure seems like it's harder to get a run going.
All right. Well, I assume the lights will be back off on the pace car. Maybe we'll get some green flag racing. If this keeps up, heck, we might have to do 2 races tonight. It might just blow by. Well, congratulations on the stage 1 win, buddy.
Thanks, sir.
Got to make sure we get him right into his correct chat. I'm seeing some guys in the general chat. We're going to have to bring them in here. A couple of them, like Steve Darling, I don't see you on the racetrack. Are you hiding on the racetrack on me? If you're watching the stream, let me know. We do have some guys topping off. Great strategy here from Stephen Connor, Kyle Cameron. There he is. Yes, he was hiding on me in the 68 Tides machine. They all went down to top off. Not a bad call, especially if you're going to get green flag racing. Maybe you won't have to do nearly as much fuel saving as you go around the draft. Well, the lights do appear to be off on the pace truck as they roll through turns 1 and 2 on the exit onto the super stretch of Talladega here. You see it while they're going. Pace speed, it looks like it goes on forever, but as they continue to pick up speed when they go back green flag, it will seem like they are only on this back straightaway for mere seconds at speeds well over 205 miles an hour. Let's get some shots here from the field at some of these guys' paint schemes here. You heard some of these guys already having the clutch pushed in, trying to save as much fuel. Sounds like we're also in 4th gear in some of these cars, trying to keep the RPMs down, trying to save as much fuel as they can. Just a little higher RPMs in... Nope, he's in 4th gear. He's down in the 2800, 2300. Let's see if we get on board here. Likewise in the 88. So these guys are going to try to save as much fuel as possible here. Nick, punch the clutch if you're listening here. Oh, there you go. You heard the 2 downshifts. He was in 4th gear here. You're going to hear it from a couple more of these cars like Justin Lee Pearson. There he is from 4th to 2nd, trying to save as much fuel as these guys approach the Geico restart zone to get stage number 2 started. Nicholas Bauman getting into the Geico restart zones. Let's see the speeds increase here up to over 100 already, and we are green flag already again at Talladega. Three wide, a little deeper in the pack here as these guys are trying to make their way to the front. They aren't too far behind the lead pack, so that won't hurt them too bad. You see the 72, he's had a quiet night of Evan Perry going around. You see the speeds, look at the speeds increase, 206, 207 miles an hour, and they aren't even pushing. That's just a tow you're going to get from these cars around Talladega. Well, let's go back up front. It looks like it is still the 88 machine, but Blaine Snyder has moved up into the 2nd position. Trevor Haley, James Smith, and Kevin Dixon are going to round out the top 5. And another guy who has hung around all evening long, Kyle Cameron, sitting just outside the top 5 in P6. John Miles right here. We have a lot of passing still going on here in the back of the pack. Some 3 wide. Ricky Miles almost 4 wide. A huge move by Zach Cato taking his run. He's going to move up with his teammates, keep that momentum going as they start to march their way to the front here. These guys are still 3 wide back here, holding a great wheel. Setup must be doing well. Ricky Miles looked like he's going to get up there and push Derek Jacobs. Peyton Kleba, a couple Peytons, different spellings on the racetrack. Ricky Miles, you see the CSR broadcasting logo on the side of that car. That is awesome that these guys have done and taken the time to put our logo on the car, as well as the James Smith, Kevin Dixon, and several others. You see it there going back by in that bright orange number 5 machine. The runs look pretty substantial in these cars this evening, guys. Really carrying some speed here. It's going to look on board with Evan Perry and the autism awareness paint job that he has on that thing. These guys are going to try to need to get single file, and they do, to make sure this lead pack doesn't get too far ahead of them. Let's go ahead and get a look up in the field here a little further. We had a little bit of action, almost some 3 wide. The 58, oh, bad bump to the 23. Going to get Ryan Wilson a little out of shape there. Let's move our graphic. Nick Bauman continues to lead this thing. I wonder if the field's just being calm and giving Mr. Talladega some false confidence out here, saying, yeah, you go ahead and lead all these laps. We'll go. Oh, we got a big hit back here. Oh, a couple guys involved here. Jerry Fassett's going to take a big hit. Oh, that comes up in front of the 7, the 5. Oh, we got a barrel roll there for the 19 machine. The caution flag is out on the racetrack. We'll have to go back and get another look at that. You saw some of the chaos and some of the sliding going around. Jerry's in the inside wall. He probably can't even steer that thing with as hard as hits he took on the racetrack. Let's see if we could go back and get a look at what started this one here. As always, it loves to catch things in the middle of it. It looks like it's going to be up here around Jerry Fassett. Let's see if we can find him here. And the 23 is getting a huge push from the 58. The 34 coming with 23, closing the gap here. And just, gets him in the left rear. And then from there on, he's going to catch the 68 of Stephen Darling. They're going to go around, and then Derek Jacobs is going to be an innocent bystander when these guys come ricocheting off the outside wall here. See if we get a better camera angle somewhere of this. Here the 23 is still up in the wall. Yeah, Jerry, just nothing he could do. Shoots the 7 in the outside wall. Hard hit for him. Going to bounce down in front of the 5 of Ricky Miles. The 72 is going to get through that mess. So we are definitely going to have to go back. Maybe we'll get a little bit of an onboard shot with Evan Perry at full speed and see what happens down the back straightaway. You see the cars making a hard hit there. Here comes the 70. Just jumps in the brake. That is how you get it done, and that is how you pass 7 cars on the racetrack without ever having to get yourself involved in a wreck. The leaders are coming back down pit road here for some fuel, and I assume maybe a little bit of tires. Nick Bauman has not taken tires yet in this race, so I'll be curious to see what kind of move he makes here on this pit stop. Our first yellow flag of the evening. Almost, I believe we are well over 30 laps into this thing. So our first wreck of the evening, almost 30 laps in. Just another splash of fuel for Nick Bauman. So these guys must not be experiencing a ton of tire wear here. Well, these guys are hanging out in the chat here. Let's see if we can find him in our running order. Man, he keeps hunting on me this evening. Mr. Darling, where are you hiding at now? Did you slide up in the pack? Why in the world can I not keep finding the 68 car? Oh, he sure did. He is up in P5. He must have got on and off pit road rather quickly. Steve, it's Craig up in the booth. How's it going, buddy? Steve, it's Craig in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Well, you just got involved in that one, and out of all the chaos, moving back up in the field. Oh, are we having to let some guys go back around you here?
Yeah, I entered a closed pit because had to get some repairs done.
All right, well, that is the first yellow flag of the evening. It seems like the racing has been pretty tame for the most part. How's it look behind the wheel for you this evening?
No, we were talking in the chat there. We were pretty surprised, but the cars are jostling around quite a bit with this package. So we were surprised to go green for 35. Well, other than the stage break, a lot of the green flag lasts, but it's good. You know, these password races are good to have every once in a while. Get some people that are used to working with each other.
Yeah, they definitely. I think you're going to see this a little bit more often, especially when we go into the muddy races for sure. Well, looks like you might be. Are you heading back down pit road? Maybe try to get that fuel topped off in this thing?
Yeah, got to top it off. Got to put 4 tires on. Got to come back from back anyhow.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Thanks for hanging out with us this evening.
Appreciate it.
Scott Darling in the 68. He slid all the way up to P5 with going down in the closed pit. So it took me a second. I was looking for him in my leaderboard in the back there. Didn't quite see him in time. Let's see if we can find the 72 machine of Evan Perry and get a word with Mr. SMT. Evan, it's Craig up in the booth, buddy.
Hey, crew. Yeah, how's it going, man?
It's going well. We say it every broadcast, if some guys would just check up for wrecks, they would pick up a ton of track position, and you exemplified it there. What'd you see out the mirror besides basically, oh shit?
I tapped my brakes, prayed to God, and got through it.
Were your eyes open or closed going through that one?
Surprisingly open because I wanted to make sure I got through it.
There you go.
I mean, it was just kind of like last night. Like, I was able to save that near spin-out situation whenever I was on the lead. And
Yeah,
if
that
you
was a
just
great
back
save.
up, you could save. You could get through if you simply tap that brake a little bit and slow down during a wreck.
Well,
It's surprising.
oh yeah, well, so far so good. Doesn't look like we've needed to use any fast repairs. Maybe one. Did we have some damage earlier?
No, I actually had to run to the gas station to get some old dip for me, and then I made it a little late, and people were driving off, and I was able to make the start. I was just not ready.
Oh,
and
well,
I fell behind.
I have been there. That's why I try to time it out now. Well, with your races a little earlier, you run out of time quicker. I know we're going back green flag racing, so good luck to you. We'll
Thanks,
catch
man.
back up with you and some of your drivers in a little bit.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy. Evan Perry of the SMT crew here. Looks like out front you still have Mr. Talladega and Nicholas Bauman. Blaine Snyder, Kyle Cameron continues his great run up to P3. Trevor Haley, James Smith continue in that P5 position, man. I think if you want fits, you're going to have to go through James Smith tonight. He has been there all evening long as we get ready. They are approaching the Geico restart zone, and we are off to finish stage 2. We are now green flag until lap 50, and the way this is going, I don't assume we are going to have any issues getting there under green. While we are at it, let's go ahead one more time here in this stage and let's crank it up. Yes, we have action on the racetrack there. Looks like Cameron Young went for a slide there as we were checking out. Looks like maybe Ryan Wilson and Daniel Smith also went off track. Let's see if we can get a look back at that, because we are not going to have another chance here at the end. Yes, it's, of course, this thing just absolutely loves catching the action mid. So maybe as the 34 checking up there, just one of the checkups, and tight pack racing at 26 gets it locked down here, doesn't hit anything. Ryan Wilson likewise. Oh, I think he came up and tagged the 67 to Cameron Young. Shouldn't really need a fast repair for these guys. Doesn't seem like they have too heavy of damage. Nick Bauman still out front in this one. Will somebody go around this man? Stop letting him lead all the laps here tonight. John Miles has that in mind. He's up 9 spots, and Zach Cato up 19. You see him there behind the 12 machine, who still has a little bit of right side damage on that from his move at the end of the stage. Cato pushing the 12 right back by the outside lane. So historically, we have seen the outside lane be fairly dominant. I think when those guys had enough help in the high lane, it still was the spot to be. Right now, these guys slapped. It seems like they want to be fairly calm. Looks like Ryan Wilson has made his way to pit road. Oh, it does look like the right front might be broken in that, from where he came back up and tagged Cameron Young in the 67 machine. The 67 is back and going, so Ryan Wilson will try to get that repaired here. You should see it. He's probably going to use a fast repair. Yep, there it is, to get that thing fixed. Just the force of the cars coming together there when they made their slide. Well, the pack is still pretty tight here together. Let's go in here and take a look a little further in the back. You see the 71, the 17, the 13, the 5. Ricky Miles moving around here a little bit. The air really moving these cars. The 19 crowding him. The 5 doing his best to give him some room. They're 3 wide. Ricky Miles in the middle. Justin Lee Pearson on the bottom. And the 19 car of Nate Bladesdale on the high side there. John Miles going to try to squeeze in front of Justin Lee Pearson. Not quite enough room there. Not clear just yet. Matt Brown up there going to possibly make it 4 wide. Not a bad idea. No, excuse me, not a great idea. He backs out of it, making sure, like, I don't want to tear up my race car just yet. We have fast repairs. I prefer to not use them right now. Well, so let's go through the running order. Nick Bauman, Blaine Snyder, Trevor Haley, Zachary Cato, Tommy Rogers, Kyle Cameron. Angry Wives cars having another fantastic run. John Miles. James Smith finally falls out of the P5 position back there in P8. Nate, the 19 of Nate Bladesdale, as they're getting a little out of shape on the high side. 17's going to get squeezed there. Great save by all those guys, giving each other a little more room. A little bit more respectful in the password protected races. These are all the guys that race around each other fairly often. They kind of, you know, maybe some new guys that are being overly aggressive. The regulars say, hey, you got to earn that respect here. I'm not just going to give it to you. So the 29 going underneath the apron there, trying to avoid a little bit of chaos there. Peyton kept it down on the apron till the whole field got by, so no issues there for the 29 Budweiser machine. Nick Bauman out front. Alex LeBeau's really trying to get that outside lane working. He is pushing the Billabong machine of the 357, as I see the logos on the rear of that car. The inside lane continuing to do their thing. If they want this outside lane to get moving, they are going to need to get some more help up there. The 17 with the other painted 24 car there, 3 wide, trying to get the side draft going. 2 cars in the outside just is not going to get it done just yet. I'm getting notifications. For some reason, it's not popping up on my screen here. Not sure why. Thank you, Streamlabs, for not doing that. So I will try to figure out what that notification was. Thank you if it was a like or a subscribe. We appreciate it very much. For some reason, it's just not popping up for me right now. New broadcaster, so you're gonna have to give me some time to figure this all out. You see the 357 and the 24 now have help from the 5 car out here, as it looks like the leaders are approaching the lap car of Evan Perry. Don't know what happened to Evan. Evan, were you caught up in something that we just missed? Not sure. Are you on a different fuel strategy maybe? But either way, you see the speed difference from the pack. The guys going by, you know, him running out there by himself. He's going to get a little bit of draft from these cars going by, but only was doing about 182 when the pack caught him. And what the leaders are doing 197, almost 200 miles an hour. It's hard to keep up with that, but it looks like the 72 is going to blend right back in line with this pack, get it up to speed. You see it up there in the 200s, just how much air is moved around on these cars and punching a hole in the air for these guys to draft. Well, we'll go back. I don't think we will be in any trouble here for the stage. We actually could be. It looks like the longest anyone went on the first stint was 14 laps, and we have still 4 laps to go in the stage. You have to cross a line under power, and then you have to catch the pace car and roll around a pit road under power. So you really, these guys are looking at almost 5, maybe closer to 6 laps to go if you want to make it back down under pit road and still win the stage. So we could potentially see a splash and go from some of these guys, maybe like a James Smith who has been in the pack most of the evening here. Will have enough on fuel here, trying to save the 88 is going to be the car that hurts the most out here, leading this pack the whole time. He will probably be the closest out of anyone on making on fuel if he can make it. Some big moves there from the 13 behind the 24 machine there. Nick Bauman continues to lead. We have 3 laps to go in this stage. This race is just flying by. It was a follow, Trevor says in the comment section. Thank you to whoever followed us there. For some reason, I am not getting the notifications up on the screen. I don't know why. Sometimes the Streamlabs and Twitch just like to be difficult for us. Either way, thank you. It is much appreciated. Hopefully, you guys continue to come around. We do this every single evening. At S&M, we have some leagues coming up for the SMT series on Friday. The Friday night main event for these guys will practice opens at 9. The race starts at 10. It should be a little bit more of this, but I assume maybe a little bit more aggressive from these drivers. It's the main event. Everyone who finishes in the top 5 gets, it was Kyle Cameron. Well, thank you, Kyle, for the follow. Much appreciated there. Riding around. That is a multitasker right there. Working the high line with his teammate and following the channel. That man can do it all. He's a winner at ISS the other night. Multitasking here tonight. He's trying to get that high lane going. They know they only have about 1 1/4 laps to get it done if they want to get there and grab the stage win. Now with these guys being pulled off a little bit, if that top lane can stay together, as you see Tommy Rogers starting to make the move forward. If he could get the quarter panel of that 12, pull the 12 off the 9, they will start their march forward. But we are on the final lap of stage number 2 from the S&M Iracing Motorsport series. Nick Bauman continues to lead. Blaine Snyder, Trevor Haley, John Miles has gotten his way up to P4, and never guess who's in 5th. I bet you $100 you'd never guess. Well, I'll tell you anyway, it's James Smith. Big shocker there. That man has held down 5th place all night. He wants to make sure he gets top 5 out here tonight as they roll down the back straightaway. Does the teammate step out of line here? You see the 9 maybe laying off the back bumper of the 88, trying to set him up for the end of this thing. They're coming out of 4. Looks like the 357 88 cannot make it, so that might just hand the stage to Blaine Snyder here in the 9 machine. They're coming through the trioval, and yes, Blaine Snyder with the move in the 12 is still going to get it done. He is going to be your stage 2 winner. This is going to be the big question. Did the 8 car get onto pit road before the lights came on? I would assume he got there in plenty of time. We knew it would be close for these guys. Now, who can make it all the way back around? It looks like, no, we are going to have to check up for the pace car here tonight. iRacing loves to change it up on us. Some nights you got to go all the way back around. Other nights you have to sit there and go and catch the pace car. Other nights you have to sit here and just wait on the pace cars, which will help some of these drivers with their fuel saving because they can hold the clutch and just wait for the pace car to get back to them. So it looks like it's going to be Blaine Snyder, Trevor Haley that came across the line there to take the stage win. So we are halfway through this race. We have seen the 88 out front for a good portion of it, but fuel strategy bites him there at the end. He went down pit road. However, if he does not come back down pit road, you will see the 88 car right back in the front there with a little bit of a strategy call, maybe saying, you know what? I knew I wasn't going to make the stage. I am going to pit last second possible and then go right back to the front instead of having to fight on and off pit road. 23 also getting his lap back, and the leaders are on. Let's see what they do this time around. Zachary Cato already stopping in his box. You see the 71, the 34, the 009 coming in, the 12, the 58, the 1 are all in. I don't see tires. Yes, now we see right side tires going up on the 12. Not seeing tires on the 58 machine just yet. The 9 is a splash and go. The 58 is a splash and go. The 9 is a tight race off of pit road. Gonna be interesting to see who goes where on that one. That was tight. You saw the 12. He opted for right side tires on that stop. Well, it's saying the 13 and the 10 are now leading this race. I have a feeling they may have not stopped. Maybe they stopped there with the 88 car, which it looks like it could have happened. The 88 giving a shot to the 24 there on pit road. So right now, unless they somehow went a lap down, we didn't see it, or they just short pitted there. Gavin Schilling should be starting this race up front. The lights are still on the pace car. We'll wait and see. But it looks like the 13 car is, in fact, going to be the leader when we go back. So now, this is the furthest back I think the 88's been the whole night. P3, I don't think it'll take him long to get back up in this thing. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can find, well, they are not in the channel tonight. But let's bring in the Stage 2 winner, Blaine in the 9. Looks like your teammate was about out of fuel there. You take the stage. Now he's up front. You're down to P7. How do you find your way back to your teammates there?
Just take whatever runs I can get. The new setup's definitely driving a little bit different, but I think I'm kind of getting the hang of it now, so I think I can get back up there.
Some of the guys are saying the cars are moving around a little bit more. Is there more play in the wheel, or is just a little less grip on the racetrack?
I'd say it's just a little bit more play. The car definitely feels a little bit lighter in the front, so I've kind of had to adjust to that. But I think I'm learning a lot, learning quick.
Well, there you go. Well, you had a P2 finish last night behind your brother. I know you don't want that to happen again, so you stole a stage already. Good luck. Hopefully you can beat him this evening.
I appreciate it, man.
Peyton in his number 9 machine, the Mountain Dew dinosaur-looking car out there. Gavin Schilling sure is. He is going to lead us back to green with the 24. Alex LeBeau on the outside. Nick Bauman. Stephen Connor, we haven't talked too much about him in the Crocodile Hunter car, the Tribute car. He's P4, John Miles P5, Ricky Miles up 10 spots. He is in 6th position. Blaine there we just talked to in, yes, he will be, no, he should be P7. He's on the inside. Kevin Dixon in 8th, yes, James Smith, Justin Lee Pearson, Kyle Cameron, Trevor Haley with his 2 tires stop, dropped him pretty far in the field. Tommy Rogers, Peyton Snyder, the brother to Blaine, Jerry Fassett, Zach Cato, Nate Bladesdale, Steve Darling, Matthew Brown, and Evan Perry, and Cameron Young all catching back up. Bradley a little further back in the 26 of Daniel Smith. If they hustle, they should get there with plenty of time. Might see some, that might have been some topping off. Yes, they had all just left pit road, so they were topping off on fuel to start the 3rd stage. Same thing, 5 laps. No yellow flag. I have a feeling some of the rules could be out the window this evening as far as the 5-lap rule. These guys have been green flag for quite some time this evening. But however, the normal rule is 5 laps, no caution flags to start a stage. And then in a stage, there is 1 caution available to the field. However, the final stage of the race will be cautions as necessary for those who have fast repairs left. I don't think anybody is going to be in fast repair danger this evening. Seems like they will be just fine. Not many wrecks so far. A couple guys may have used 1. I doubt anybody's even up to 2 so far. Steve Darling looks like, did he? No, he just jumped out of line. Some big checkups in the back. But it they'll get caught back up. Hurry up, get your foot back in it, because Gavin Schilling is taking us back to green. Some stack-ups here on the start. Leading to some 3 wide. Maybe some guys anticipating it. Maybe our leader didn't go quite where he was supposed to. Look clean to me, so I wonder if some guys were just anticipating the start. Getting over Ansi, trying to get their way back up front, and the 88 has already found his way to the back bumper of the 13 machine. The pack 3 wide, a little further back here behind them. See Kevin Dixon, Trevor Haley there in the middle. Now those two move up. Now Trevor Haley's got to make a business decision here. He's got a slower car in front of him. Gives him a big shot, trying to get him back up to speed. The 09 is going to go down. Crikey, mate. Yeah, I'm sure. He's probably saying that inside the race car, too. Taking that big shot from the 12 car there. Trying to hang on to that thing as these guys are going to try to get it sorted back out. Gavin Schilling is going to get another lap led, but here comes the 88 car with the 24. They're going to ditch him on the high side. 88 back to the point with the 24, the 9, and the 1, and the 55 all on the outside. Now, what did they do? Did they try to make a move? Does the 24 say, hey, you have led a ton of laps here tonight. I am going to ditch you now and go to the lead for myself. Looks like he's in content and pushing him. He knows the 9 is a teammate of the 88, so he might be happy to just ride right there and try to get himself in a position to maybe grab a stage for this one. Well, we are coming to complete lap 55 of 100. We are over halfway. 75 and 20 laps is going to be the last and final stage break of the evening. Last one up for grabs. So while we do, let's go ahead one more time and crank it up. As we saw some guys mixing it up, the 9 gets back to the back bumper of the 88, but the SMT and Angry Wives cars are starting to get the bottom side rolling. You see the 72 trying to tuck in there. I believe the 12 of Trevor Haley has lost this lead draft. He's working back there with Stephen Darling. So these guys are going to continue to go around. That's an awesome shot, almost like a drone shot, or the what do they call that camera in the NFL with the camera over the field? It's almost what that looked like going down the back straightaway here. Now, can the 58 stay cool and start to get a good shove to the 55? They have the numbers on the bottom side, but the 9 continues to push the 88. Now, when does the 9 get hot? And maybe it allows that inside lane to creep back forward on the outside lane here. James Smith going to try to go ahead and give them a little bit of a side draft here. You have the front. It's looking like 14 cars, all nose to tail, 2 wide, almost 3 wide, going down the super stretch here at Talladega. 24 going to try to go to the outside there. Not going to be able to get it done. Now Alex making a move to the bottom with Kyle Cameron and company, trying to get some more cars formed up on the bottom. Matt Brown really wants to go to the front. He keeps going lane 3. If he's getting so help, it's not going to help. But now this should help the inside lane, because now they are 3 wide for the lead coming through the tri-oval. 88 might get this lap. It could be Matt Brown. Too hard to tell from that angle, as they are 3 wide for the lead. Now there's only 3 cars in the middle. Do the 3 cars on the high side prevail? Where does the 31 go? 31 car is going to go to the high side. The 26 pushing the 24. Do they stay in the high lane as they go around? Now the inside lane needs to side draft that middle lane a little bit to put them more in the sucker hole. The 19 car is going to try to turn underneath this group here. That is going to help the 24 of Alex as they squeeze in there. Big check up for the middle lane as the 24 ditched the 26. Now he's going to move back up in front of him. These guys are getting aggressive here as the laps continue to click down from Talladega. Matt Brown on the inside. Nate Bladesdale on the inside. Go here through the tri-oval. This time around will be the 19 machine on the inside of Nate Bladesdale that will lead that lap around. 26 going back to the outside back here. Justin Lee Pearson, Tommy Rogers, Blaine, and James Smith still in the middle. 31 car back here still trying to find a hole to move his way forward. And P14, Cameron Young still hanging out right there as well. Evan Perry likewise trying to move up on the bottom. Now there's some separation, some things. Some beating and banging may have taken occur. Kyle Cameron back up to P3. Justin Lee Pearson, Tommy Rogers, Matt Brown on the outside now with the 88 of Nick Bauman trying to get a big shove here. But Nate Bladesdale continues to lead them around Talladega as they come out of turn 4 heading into the tri-oval. It's a complete lap 60. It indeed looks like if you want to make some passing and make some ground up on some cars, you're going to have to do on the outside. The 88 is going to ditch the 24. There on the high side, 24 is going to move down and side draft the 9, pull the 9 off the 88. Now has the 19 in front of the 88. It's going to split the difference. 24 that's going to try to come up and block. A bad block is going to lead to chaos. Tommy Rogers going to pound the inside wall. The 19's around the 58 of Justin Lee Pearson. The 19's going to come back up in front of the track. Zach Cato in it as well. Oh, there's a carnage all over. That will bring out the yellow. Only our second one of the evening. Some hard hits. It looks like the 009 of Kevin Dixon is also tore up in this one. Well, maybe he just went wreck avoidance through the grass there. Oh, 58 still trying to get it wound up there. James Smith with a ton of damage on that thing. He's trying to go to pit road. He probably can't even turn it. You see all the metal dragging. Yeah, that right front's just completely off the ground. He's going to try to turn it in through the grass. They'll clear his black flag just so he can get off the racetrack there and not be a problem. Ton of cars on pit road. Tore up the 58. James Smith, Peyton Kleba, Tommy Rogers. All tore up in this one. They're getting their fast repairs. Jerry Fassett, Nate Bladesdale, Steve Darling. Ryan Wilson's going to get his lap back, so he made it through. But while we go at it here, let's see if we can key up the right point in this one. I know it's going to happen a little further up in the pack here. Justin Lee already some damage here. I know it was around the 88 of Nick Bauman. Let's get a look on board, see what happens here. 24 definitely try to come up and move in front of the 88. Going to bounce him up into the 19. They're just not going to be able to hang on to that one. Going to turn the 19 down. Going to come down and get the 58. Kyle Cameron barely gets through that one. And then the carnage is on from there. The 58 coming back up the racetrack. Going to tag the 9. The 9's going to come up and tag the 1. And then the second pack, we heard Evan Perry say it earlier. Sometimes you just got to get on the brakes, man, and avoid these wrecks. They happen fast. It's a self-cleaning racetrack. The guys that slide up the track, they're going to ricochet back down, and they are going to cause some havoc. Nick Bauman is in pit road. All the lead cars are on pit road. There goes the 24, the 6, 72, the 9, the 88. So going to be a shakeup in the running order. It looks like Blaine might be pulling over. Maybe he just needs a bathroom break here. We are doing 100 laps around here. We are quite a ways through this one this evening. Well, the 24 on board, the 88 on board kind of showed it all there this evening. as we'll go in here and check in with a couple of these drivers here in a second. Let's figure out who to harass here. Let's go ahead and bring in the 23 car. Ryan Wilson, it is Craig up in the booth, buddy.
Yes, sir. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing. I mean, this only being the second caution halfway through, man. You're not giving me a ton to talk about out there. You've stayed pretty quiet yourself. I see you a lap down. I know you got caught up. That right front was pretty tore up. Only 2 fast repairs used so far. Is that correct?
I only used one so far,
Oh, there we
but
go.
I had a new adjustment to my temporary rig right now, and I think I got her fixed up and ready to go for the rest of the race.
Well, you stayed pretty quiet, but we did see you marching to the forward, marching forward on the outside there for a little bit. Are we just going to hang out here to the end of stage 3 and then put the pedal down, or what's the strategy call out there?
I don't know. I'm going to try to get up to my teammates and see what we can do from there.
I think you're in the wrong box, sir.
Yeah, I need to call out a black flag.
Oh, waiting on the black flag to get cleared. There you go. Holler at them while you're up here in the booth with us. There you go. They got it figured out. Well, we look forward to seeing you continue your march to the front, brother.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm going to try to put on a show for you.
There you go. That's what we like to see.
Yes, sir.
Let's bring in one more guy here. Let's check. Yes, the lights are still on the pace car, so Ryan Wilson will get out just in time. Lights are on in the pace car, so let's go to one of the guys we talked to last evening here. Let's find him in our running order. We just saw him get, unfortunately, caught up in the last one here. The running order's moving so fast. Guys are still doing things on the racetrack. Let's make sure we are live. We are live. There he is. Let's bring in, if we can, if he's here with us, Justin Lee Pearson. It's Craig up at the booth, buddy.
Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. It looks like a lot tamer race this evening than we've seen in the past here at Talladega. I know you just got caught up in one, but a lot of guys commenting on the setup here this evening. What do you think of the new one so far tonight?
You know, I'm actually enjoying it. I haven't had a problem of it getting hot like the other ones.
Yeah,
So she's been staying cool.
Yeah, they said they decreased the tape to about 10%, so hopefully that cools off. The speeds are still well over 200, 205 miles an hour, so it seems like taking tape off didn't do too much except let you push a little longer. Well, I want to bring up last night's race because you and the 17 were in one hell of a battle. I was actually really disappointed to see that yellow flag there at the end. What did you think of Chicagoland? I know the end didn't play out too well for you, but man, you were flying around the racetrack last night. Oh boy. Sounded like some chaos right there in front of you.
I think old Jerry smoked somebody.
Oh boy.
No, I had a blast. I wish you guys would do more of those races. I had fun on that.
Yeah, that I personally love running that racetrack. I know you saw the poll earlier about doing some money races. I think that is definitely going to be one you are going to see on the schedule when it comes time to do it. And that I'm working on in Atlanta, Kansas, Kentucky, Vegas. I'm sure there'll be a Talladega somewhere involved in that. But last night, you and Peyton were putting on one hell of a show. Hopefully, well, I think this weekend we'll go back there, and maybe we'll see that 58 in Victory Lane if we don't see it there tonight.
Yeah, if you give me a long run, I got a shot against these boys. So.
Oh yeah, you definitely ran. I was sitting there going through the field. I was keeping an eye on the tracker there. You were like 1.1 seconds, so I'm like, oh, I'll go through the field, and all of a sudden I saw 0.6 of a second, 0.4 of a second. I'm like, I better get up here to the front because Justin done figured something out. He is running these boys down quick.
Yeah, like I said, I had fun. So.
Well, awesome. Well, good luck to you here and the rest of this one. This looks like it's been a blast on the racetrack, so maybe tonight's the night we see you burning it down yet again at S&M.
Hopefully one of these times I'm going to get a win. I've been P2 so many times.
The Mark Martin of S&M, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, maybe tonight is the night you put it in Victory Lane, buddy. Good luck at the rest of this one tonight.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Justin Lee Pearson in the 58 machine. The lights are off on the pace truck. Alex LeBeau, Daniel Smith, we saw him making a run up there at the end of that stage before we get caught up into something a little earlier. Evan Perry, Blaine Snyder, Nick Bauman, Stephen Connor, Ricky Miles, Kevin Dixon, Trevor Haley, Kyle Cameron, rounding out your top 10. We should, excuse me, this should take us to the end of stage number 3, lap 75. We'll have our last stage winner of the evening here. If you could do me one solid here. I know we're on Twitch tonight, but liking the stream, commenting, it keeps the activity going, helps more people find streams like this one or other iRacing streams on Twitch, all kinds of things. Subscribing is a huge help. The more people subscribe, the more people tune in and watch these things. And maybe could pull some sponsorship with that and bring that back to all the drivers here and all the teams as they get ready to once again go back green flag racing here from Talladega. The 24 car of Alex LeBeau approaching the Geico restart zone with Evan Perry just behind him. Let's get a different look this time as they get going at Talladega. Some great shots. You saw the 26 get a little far out in front of the 24 there. Big check up here for the 12. The 31 a little out of line. That'll let the 26 car rocket back to the front there with the separation to a 3 wide, a little further back next to Kevin Dixon. Here, Matthew Brown again leading that outside lane there. You see the Angry Wives Racing team getting their way back up towards the front here. Some Ricky Miles having to check up for some guys a little out of shape. Evan Perry trying to figure out what lane he's going to go with. Now the outside lane is really coming together now. 3 by 3 by 3 for 3, 4, 5 rows deep. Here the outside lane with Matthew Brown is coming. Kyle Cameron pushing them on the outside here. Let's get some looks a little further back at some of the 3 wide action. Man, it is tight. These cars moving around. You hear some contact in the outside wall. One of the guys we just talked to up here, Ryan Wilson, on the onboard here on the high side. Man, they are inches from each other and inches from the wall. That looks like lane 3 is starting to move. The 88's going to want to move down. The camera. Cato says no. They're going to move to the inside of Matt Brown. Up here, oh, big hit for the 55 there. The 58's going to get some side contact there. We only have 2 laps to go in the stage, so that is not going to bring out a caution. It looks like the 23 is just going to get a little bit of rear end damage from the checkup. Nothing too bad on that one. Looks like the 55 is going to take the worst shot of that. Evan Perry trying to get us good side draft on the 24 car going down the back straightaway, but he is by himself, so he needs to stay tight to that door. Ricky Miles, look at old Ricky go. He is up to P4 there on the inside. The 13 has now got back to the back bumper of the 72 as they start their march forward. It looks like quite possibly Trevor Haley, where we caught up. No, Trevor Haley's in the back of this pack. The 88's going to split the difference. He's going 3 wide. Does the 13 try to block that move? The 31's not going to give the 88 much room. 88 was there. That's his spot at that point. Still crowding him down there. These guys are definitely getting more aggressive. You see the 88 trying to push the 72. The 33 still hanging on to that thing. Little bit out of control. Get those hands straightened back out, brother. There you go. 3 wide for the lead as they go down the back straightaway here. They are coming to the stage finish here. This is the last lap of the stage, hence all the aggressiveness. The 13 car has found his way to the top. Now you see some contact between the 31 and the 24 on the outside. That's going to check them up. Now Alex LeBeau is in the catbird seat. Now what does he do as he comes through the tri-oval? He's getting a push from the 72. Better step out now, or the 72 is going to go without you. He's going to go to the bottom side. The 13 is going to block. The 24 has made the move, though. Here they come to the line. It is going to be the, oh, man, I believe the 13 is going to grab that. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep thinking 70. We are going to 75. That is the second time we have done that. I don't know why we're thinking 70 on all these stages. So right now Nick Bauman has found his way back to the front off the bumper of Zachary Cato. So we have 5 laps to go in this stage. I apologize. I got all tongue twisted there, getting excited. A lot of action. Looks like Trevor Haley is right there. Now, what do? They have, Dark Horse is sitting in 1, 3, 4, and 5 right now. Zach Cato is kind of stuck by himself at this point. The best thing he can do is just work with that 88. Follow him anywhere he goes. Keep an eye on that mirror and not let these guys all gang up on you. So Nick Bauman in the 88 back to the front. Zach Cato out there in that 18 machine, keeping it wound up on the high side, the inside lane, trying to come back with the 24 and the 13 there. Excuse me. Ryan Wilson and Kyle Cameron 1 lap down. Derek Jacobs looks like he is the only car retired in this one. Yes, he is the only car retired in the race right now, so still 25 cars in this one. 13 car of Gavin Schilling, a little out of shape there from a push from the 24, gets up to the side of the 88, but that momentum loss is going to hurt. They are going to now fall back. They need to get that line back going. Again here, we're going to have 3 laps to go. This time officially, lap 75 in the stage. You see a little further back here, Kevin Dixon is working with Justin Lee Pearson and Stephen Connor and James Smith and Matt Brown to see if they can catch these guys as they are all side by side. Don't count them out for the stage. They are pushing tough there. The 31 getting out of shape. It's not going to help that pack try to catch the leaders at this point, but it is possible with these guys side by side. They need to keep pushing hard and get these cars moving to go back up front here. The 13 starting to make a run. The 24's got to keep that left front off that apron there. That is what's pushing him up the racetrack a little bit. Not quite being able to keep with the 13 there. Excuse me, I just keep saying Kyle. Zach Cato in the 18 continue to push the 88 on the outside. Now we are down to 2 laps to go in stage number 3. We are coming down to the end of this thing. About 27 laps to go in this race. The intensity definitely picking up, some more moving, some more aggressive bump drafting. They don't allow blocking, but within reason. I think when you are with the regular drivers here, these guys kind of know what they can get away with as far as pulling up in front of lines, but definitely no blocking a line coming much faster than you. It just leads to disaster at Talladega in these Gen 6 cars. The checkups, the slamming, it becomes quite a bit. You see that second pack there starting to catch this lead pack. However, I don't know if they have quite enough time to get there. We are now 1 lap to go officially this time in stage number 3. Nicholas Bauman continues to lead it. What does Zach Cato do? What does Trevor Haley and the other Dark Horse cars do? If Zach Cato makes a move, do they go ahead and say, here you go, Cato, you take stage 3 away from Bauman? He's already led 1-1. Another Dark Horse driver has won the other stage, but I know those Dark Horse guys are very proud. They love sweeping and having a little bit of bragging rights. If they can sweep all the stages and the race win, I should say, that they definitely wear that chip on their shoulder a little bit here. Zach Cato continues to push the 88, a little out of shape here as they come out of turn 4, heading to the tri-oval. When does Cato make his move? If he makes a move, or does he just ride here with the 88? He's got enough space. I would say, Cato, go for it. There he goes. He's going to the bottom of the racetrack, coming to the line. The 88 is going to beat him just a hair. He needed to get a little closer with the side draft. But hey, definitely a test for later in this race. He will put that in the memory bank there. And remember, maybe I need to go a little earlier. Maybe I need to stay a little tighter. Definitely, Zachary Cato is not going to forget that move. He was just about a quarter of a car length short of the stage win, so I'm sure if you get in that same position for the end of this race, you'll see the 6 maybe being a little bit more aggressive with that 88 car. Well, Nick Bauman wins another stage. We've already bothered him tonight. Chances are we're going to keep bothering him if this keeps going. Sounds like, oh my lord, we got wrecking in the back once again. Don't know what happened back here. Some guys maybe ARCA breaking it on in here. Yeah, 31 is around with some damage. Let's see here. I know it's not orthodox for us to rewind, but oh boy. Hold on here. 34, the 357, the 34 is just trying to get it checked up. 357 a little out of shape. Not too bad considering what could have happened right there. I know Kevin Dixon was probably like, going down there, or as Trevor Haley likes to do. He loves this. That's Kevin Dixon going back and looking in the mirror as those guys come flying up to them. The leaders are back on pit road here, so let's get a live look in at that. 88 taking him down the 18 in his box. The other Dark Horse cars right there with him. So right now, the 88, the 9, and the 88 are the stage winners for this evening. Now the only thing left to decide is the race winner for this evening. I have a feeling that the intensity is going to pick up. You see a splash of fuel for most of the Dark Horse cars and Zach Cato, so not a lot of movement up front. Cato's going to be -2. Coming out of pit road. So the 88, the 12, the 9, the 18, the 17, and the 5 of Ricky Miles up 10 spots. So far, the biggest mover of the race is Zachary Cato in the number 18 machine. He has found his way up 20 spots from his 24th starting position this evening. While we go around under yellow flag, want to give a shout out to D&D Graphics, an awesome sponsor, painting up some of these cars. If we need anything adjusted on the cars, change the sponsors, they get them on the race cars going around this racetrack, as you saw. So like even the 5 having our CSR broadcast on there. Awesome sponsor there. Got some t-shirts and hats fired up for some of these drivers. If you are looking to be a sponsor in this series, we will definitely showcase your stuff on the broadcast multiple times. If you want a sponsorship on the race car, D&D can get that done. Get us a picture of your logo. We'll throw them on the cars. We'll throw them up here in the broadcast. And always thank you for checking out S&M Iracing Motorsports on iRacing and on Twitch this evening. Little change up from the normal here. Zach Cato up 20 spots, the next highest mover of the race. Looks like it could be Evan Perry up 19 spots. Cameron Young is up 12. And let's not say the biggest loser, but the biggest loser on track position this evening right now is, well, of the cars that are still running, is a man we talked to earlier who got caught up in something. Ryan Wilson is down 18 spots right now, but I can't imagine that will stay that way for long. So Nick Bauman continues to lead this thing around the racetrack here. Let's check in with one driver right before we go back. Green flag racing. Let's bring in the number 5 machine of Ricky Miles. Ricky Miles is Craig up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good up here. The stream to me doesn't look as high quality as I would like it here on Twitch this evening, but definitely some cool new features on the Twitch side of life. Right now, up 10 spots from our starting position, just outside the top 5. What's it going to take to get it done here this evening, Ricky?
A little bit of luck, man. A little bit of luck.
Luck definitely goes a long way. Well, it seems like you have kept yourself, for the most part, out of any trouble on the racetrack. So hopefully those fortunes continue for you, and we can see that 5-car in victory lane. What do you say, Ricky?
Be a blessing, man, but I'll be happy with the top 5 if I can get there.
All right. Well, you only got one position to go to get that done, and you only got 5 to get a win. So keep that thing on up there, and maybe tonight's the night, brother.
All right, buddy. Appreciate you.
Ricky Miles there in the 5-car this evening. Like I said, with the D&D graphics all over it and the CSR broadcasting right next to that 5. Very much appreciated from those guys. So, Trevor Haley, Nick Bauman, Blaine Snyder, Zachary Cato, Ricky Miles, Peyton Snyder, Evan Perry, Gavin Schilling, Justin Lee Pearson, and Cameron Young rounding out the top 10. Kevin Dixon, Alex LeBeau, James Smith, Tommy Rogers, Matt Brown, John Miles, Bradley in the 6. Told you wasn't going to try to butcher his name again tonight. John Miles, Steve Darling, and Daniel Smith and Peyton Kleba are going to round out the top 20. Kyle Cameron and Stephen Connor, Ryan Wilson, Jerry Fassett. The last 4 cars on the racetrack. We are going to get this final stage started here. Nick Bauman and Trevor Haley are going to lead us back to green on the racetrack as they approach the Geico restart zone. get it fired up one more time here from a stage or Talladega. They are off. Stage 3 is underway. We have 24 laps to go. The 6 car, might have been in a wrong gear. He's already around. No yellow flags, however, for the first 5 laps. They'll get him caught up as he sticks through this thing by the end of it. He knows that. He's one of the regulars in this series. Hasn't been here too long, but the guys, when we run every night, it doesn't take very long to become a regular. So the 88 is going to slide up in front of his teammate there in the 12. They are going to move to the bottom of the racetrack and try to pull Zach Cato and Blaine Snyder with a big move out here on the outside. You got the 72 and the 58 and the 67 trying to go in there. The 5 is going to try to tuck in line. He's stuck in the middle with no help at the current moment. He's now finds the 58 and 72 in the middle groove. Matt Brown's going to drop there to the middle of that pack a little further back here. Needs to start to get single file. Kyle Cameron already rocketing up. We called him in 24th. He's already up to 16th, so he's moving his way forward. After that little incident on the restart, he's got some teammates there with him. These guys on the outside, if they can go by and get by in a hurry, then tuck back single file. It will help them catch the lead pack as they are 2 and 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. They are leaving poor Ricky Miles out to dry. Somebody go help my man in the 5 machine. All is calm for now. These laps continue to tick off. I'm sure that will not be the case here. You see the 31, 26. They need to get in line. There you go. See the 31, the 26 hopefully will drop in line. And as long as Kyle Cameron continue to shove the 357, they should start to make up ground on the lead pack. They're only 3.5 seconds ahead. So with the side-by-side, well, 3.5 seconds to the leader, they are only 2.7 off the lead pack. So if they can pick up maybe 2.2 seconds here in while drafting the best they can, they should catch this pack. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Oh, do we have a wreck back there with those guys? No, it's just our graphic up top was going a little crazy. It said all of a sudden they were losing a ton of time. They are not. So let's get some onboard shots around Talladega and crank it up another time. Trevor, it's Craig up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
It is going well. I'm not sure how long I just had my mic muted there for, as you just called me out on there in chat. I'm glad that's a lot faster on Twitch. Definitely much faster. Well, we saw some nose damage to the front of the 12 car. Do we have to use a fast repair to go get that fixed up?
Yeah, I just used one. It was back in front of me at one of the runs, and I slammed it in the back of someone.
Okay, well, we missed that one. Hopefully we weren't muted for too long. I'm not sure how long we were muted for. Well, now up in P2, still with the teammate. Now you have another teammate behind you. You've been pretty nice to Nick so far in this one. He's led a ton of laps around here. I have a feeling, though, out of turn 4, heading to the trial, no longer teammates, everyone for themselves?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I've pushed Nick to a stage. I've pushed Blaine to a stage. Maybe they can show me the same respect here.
maybe they will. Maybe they'll say, that
maybe
was only
not.
a stage. Yeah, that was just a stage. You ain't getting the race win that easy. Well, you're up front yet again here. A lot of guys complimenting all the green flag racing. The intensity sure has been up. How is it behind the wheel and with the new setup on this thing?
Yeah, it definitely feels a little different, but I like it. It cools down a lot quicker than the previous setup, so it's been pretty fun.
All right, well, the lights are probably going to go off on the pace car here. We will drop you back in your chat. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you.
Trevor Haley in the 12 machine out there. Let's see if we can bother one more guy here before we go back green flag racing. Let's see if we can find him in our running order. We're looking for that brightly covered DuPont Chevrolet. He's on pit road. That's why we couldn't see him on the racetrack as he's running around. Alex.
My name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff. It's Craig up in the booth. What's up, Jeff? How's it going, Jeff Gordon?
How's it going, Craig Rowe?
No, it's going okay so far. You've had that car up front quite a few times tonight. Got into a little scuffle there with a disagreement, I guess, with the 88 of who was going where. But so far tonight, not a bad run for you in the 24 car. What's it going to take to get all the way back to the front here?
Save gas for a couple laps and then go for it and try and make it without pitting, baby.
Oh, although you do have 3 green-white checkers this evening, so you know
The way the race has been going, man, I think it might go to lap 100.
Oh, you're calling your shot, saying it's green to the end. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully your strategy pays out. Do you know? I know we got Steve Darling in the general chat. Do you know who else is there with you in the general?
I am not sure. I think he's a newbie.
All right. I was gonna say he has a different name in there, so I can't quite. If you go, but when I drop you back in there, tell him to get his name right, and we'll get him up here for a broad interview if we can.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you. Put that 24
Thanks, man.
victory lane for me, would you?
I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna try.
Alex there in the 24 machine. You see the pace truck is pulling back off here from Talladega. We now have, I believe we are going to be about 17, 18 laps to go in this race. Our caution little graphic there is covering it up on us. However, we will get it sorted out as soon as he gets in the Geico restart zone. Press the accelerator. Now we have 14 laps to go here when they cross the line this time by, so it is definitely getting to go time if you are in the back of the pack. Nick Bauman going to slide up with one of his teammates. He ditches Blaine on the inside with Zach Cato. He's going to pull Kevin Dixon with him on the outside. Now Kevin has a teammate not too far behind him. He's in between is the 13th. So now you could have 2 S&M, 2 Dark Horse cars up there. You have 2 Dark Horse cars on the bottom of the racetrack. Some of the SMT boys are starting to move their way back towards the front. This should get interesting. Who do you go with? Have you made friends the whole race? Have you made anybody mad? Did you piss them off with ditching them early? Are they going to return the favor by the end of this one? Only time is going to tell. They are coming down to complete this lap. They will have 13 laps to go here from Talladega. Well, we have the opportunity one last time in this broadcast. Let's go ahead. It seems like every time we do this camera, we have a little chaos, but fingers crossed, not this time. We'll crank it up one last time from Talladega. Well, this time around, it looks like the field made it through the crank it up camera without any chaos. You see the 9 starting to get the outside lane working there with his brother. The Snyder brothers on the outside with the 24 and the 26. The 88 continues to lead, has his teammate, and Kevin Dixon now has his teammate James Smith tucked up right behind him. We have some 3 wide at the front. We did see a pack cars a little further back here. They are single file with these guys getting aggressive up front. If they can just stay calm and continue to push, you could see this pack very well drive their way right back up to these guys here up front. Nick Bauman continues to lead them around this racetrack. 3 wide. The Snyder brothers making a run right now. It is going to be the 9. Oh, the 09's going to get a bad push, going to turn back down. That is going to lead to some chaos. There is the crashing. The 26 is around. Kevin Dixon is in it. Cameron Young may squeak through this one. Looks like he will. So it looks like it could be just the 009 and the 23 of, oh, poor Ryan Wilson, man. He has just found the chaos at 26, trying to get back going in the grass. You hear him there hammer down, trying to get that car spun back around on the racetrack here. So that should bring us back to a yellow flag here. There it is, the Snyder brothers, just like last night, 1-2, just in a reverse order. The 9 is going to take us to the yellow flag with about 10 laps to go. So the 24 thought it was going to stay green. It is not, so I have a feeling you will see some of these guys on pit road. Maybe some guys will try to stay out, gain track position, thinking that it's just once they go green, they'll be able to finish it. In the original 100 laps, you see the pace truck just damn near drifting through turns 1 and 2 around the racetrack. You hear the motor off on the 9 as he's coasting around already in fuel conservation mode. Sounds like he actually might even have the motor off. The RPMs are reading down at 300, which is really rare. Let's see. I believe he has this car turned off. Nope, just the clutch was pushed in. You usually hear the roar of it kicking back on. It definitely still in 4th gear, so fuel conservation already on these guys' minds. Same thing here in the 17. So we'll be quiet here for a second. See if we can hear him fire this thing back up. Now just the clutch pushed in. Usually there's a big turnover in these cars. Maybe it's just because the aspect that we're on, it's not doing it. Sounds like just a clutch push in. Usually it's idling at 2,000 RPMs when the clutch is pushed in. That car, he may have the ignition off. We might just have a incorrect graphic there as he gets it. They are going to come down pit road here. You heard him downshifting, getting back out of 4th, deciding that he wants fuel. But looky here, Justin Lee Pearson's going to stay out on the racetrack. He's thinking maybe once they go back green, it will stay green for him here. And he'll be able to win this race without needing green-white checker fuel. It is very possible. It's been tamed so far. I believe that's only our 4th caution of the race. Peyton's going to win the race off pit road, very close between the 12 and the 88. So Justin Lee Pearson with a strategy call here. He is going to take the lead with only a handful of laps to go from Talladega. He's thinking, well, I should say at this point, he is hoping that there's no more yellows and it just stays green once they go back. I'm sure if we go on board, yeah, he's still in 4th gear. You'll probably just hear him clutching as much as possible going around the racetrack. Well, these guys are definitely probably on their team radios here. If you haven't checked out the S&M Discord, there is a ton of great things to show off your rig. If you're looking to buy things, guys are always in there helping each other grab new rigs, new parts for rigs. There you hear the 17 turn back over there. So these guys are still on fuel conservation mode here. Some damage on the 72 machine there on the right front of Evan Perry's car. Looks like he did not want to use a fast repair there on that pit stop, but a lot of a lot of great things, a big community here at S&M. We're approaching 150 members in the Discord. We're going to have some money races, some trophy races and things here in the near future. So if you want to be a part of it, you have to be a member because there is a password section for those races. You have to come out, become a regular running with these guys, earn their trust, get in on the money races here. It looks like they still have a 25-car field going around this racetrack, and Justin Lee Pearson is going to lead us back to the green flag. The 58 machine and the 17. We saw this song and dance last evening here.
Green, green, green.
We are looking like we could see it again. Some damage on that 72, not too terrible. Where does the 58 go? Does the 58 try to get up in front of the 17? 17 starting to get a run. He's going to throw a block up on the high side. Now he's moving back to the bottom, trying to work both sides of traffic, trying to keep them right side by side with each other. I think he's going to have to eventually give up and go to the high side there. The high side is going to have the momentum. Yeah, you see a huge push there from the 12 of Trevor Haley, getting that car out front, although Matt Brown decides I am going to get it wound up here on the outside. Now thinks better. Doesn't have too much help with him just yet on the racetrack. So Blaine Snyder, also another Dark Horse car. So all the Dark Horse boys are continuing to hang around the front, but several SMT drivers are also right here. The 72, the 34, the 58 are all teammates. The 18 and the 55 of Kyle Cameron have worked their way back up here. So teams are making their way to the front. The 88, a big move to the outside to try to get with his teammates. Now you see all the SMT cars and Angry Wife cars nose to tail here on the low line. They're going to want to get up and move and get out of that low line. It seems like the high side is getting it done. Blaine and the 88 are going to the high side. Now what does the 88 do? Does the 88 try to tuck in line with his teammates, or do they try to go by the 12? It says, no, you're going to stay right where you are. It's going to leave a little bit of a stack up there. Now the Dark Horse cars are going to go. What a great save there by the 13. You saw him getting out of shape. What a great save. The SMT guys are starting to make up ground on the bottom of the racetrack. Again, that high side, if they stay up there, that is going to definitely allow them to make ground up. They need to get down there and side draft those guys when they get there, or the inside lane needs to go up. Yes, they're going to move down the racetrack now. I think sometimes the best bet for that inside lane is actually to go up and crowd that outside lane all the way against the wall and say, you better be precise if you are going to run that high side, or we are going to turn down underneath you in the corners. That is a big strategy, but we haven't seen a lot of guys do yet. If you can, if you're stuck on the inside lane, go up there and crowd them against that wall all the way down the back straightaway. Give them the side draft and dive to the bottom of the racetrack in the corners. Try to make up the car lengths in the corners and then move right back up and pinch them up against the wall. Make them be precise on the top lane. Peyton Snyder continuing to lead. Trevor Haley, Nick Bauman, Blaine Snyder in the 9 car. Gavin Schilling here, and now Alex LeBeau is going to be sitting P6 right now. Cameron Young starting to make his way forward on the outside. Looks like the inside's dying. Looks like we have 2 packs forming back here with Zach Cato. We're 3 wide, so in this second pack being led by the 6 of Bradley and Kevin Dixon and James Smith. Can they start to get this line move? It's going to be difficult. These guys behind them need to get single file behind Ricky Miles sometimes. Oh, Ricky getting a little physical out there on the racetrack. He's got some damage in the nose of that thing. That is only going to slow them down. Ricky may be saying, I got the run, let me go. Let me go, get in front of you, get back in line with these guys. You don't really see that aggressiveness out of Ricky often, but sometimes you love to see it. The inside lane now, Gavin Schilling is going to move down to the inside with the 58, getting a huge push from him. They're starting to make up ground. If this outside lane goes to the wall, you need to get up there and start crowding them up the racetrack. Don't let them pin you to the bottom all the time. As you see, it's going to start to move back. Evan Perry trying to get a side draft on the 67. Might not be as efficient with that right front damage on that thing. Might not be throwing as much air as he would prefer on that. You see the 24 now making a move to the bottom of the racetrack. Cameron Young says, all right, you guys just keep on clicking off, go to the bottom. I will continue to follow the Dark Horse guys around the racetrack here on the high side, although the inside lane is starting to move their way forward. Almost a triple bump there for the 13 and the 58. As we now are 2 laps to go, barring any chaos on the racetrack. they are finishing up this lap and heading to 1 to go, and it will be too late. So the strategy call for 58 could work out. 24 down on the apron, going to stack them all up. This could be the chaos that they didn't want to see. The 13 with another great save there. Can they get it all back in line? The 24, Matt Brown's going to go down there. Oh, that... Oh, it looks like they are going to save the car, so that should not bring out a yellow. I don't believe anyone went around. Don't quote me on it. There is a caution, so somebody did spin back there a little further back in the pack. We just didn't get the notification. Maybe the admin team just saw those cars so sideways. They assumed somebody wrecked. There is quite a few admins on the racetrack amongst different teams. Sometimes they're just look in the mirror, you see cars sliding until you can't see them anymore, and they just assume that a wreck has happened. They're only human. Nobody is a computer out here, so you're not 100% sure. Sometimes just in the spirit of competition, even if you're leading the thing, you have the top 4 spots, or you're one of the S&M drivers, and for a little further in the back of the pack, you just say, in the spirit of competition, we have green-white checkers in our bag. Let's throw it. Let's make sure, even if we're wrong, that everyone still has a fair and equal opportunity to win this at the end of the race. You would hate to see a guy, maybe with after a slide like that, have a right front or a left front broken in those cars and not be able to continue after having a good race. So sometimes in the spirit of competition, you just throw the yellow flag. Well, now we already saw these guys on fuel conservation mode. Now that the 58 went for a slide, although he's only P14, I would imagine you will see him coming down pit road. His strategy was about a mile from working out well for him there in the 58 machine. One of the things I love about the graphics on this game is you can see some of these white cars as they go around in these longer stinted races. You see the rubber building up behind the tires on the nose of these things. They're getting a little dirty as they slide through. Yes, the 58's coming in, the 009 is in, so it looks like it could be a lonely road. Only these two going in on pit road, as we still have, it looks like 23 cars. Looks like the 29, the 19, and the 7 are the only retirees from this race this evening. Well, Peyton up here in the 17. Well, Peyton, you're in a spot that you would want to be, but at Talladega, sometimes you don't want to be in the spot that you're in. And we already see guys saving fuel. The lights are off in the pace car. Did we put enough in it to get us to the end of this thing?
I think we are. I think we're good on fuel. Saved a good bit there, so I think we're good. I think we got a good shot. Clearly, top 4. So try to bring it home clean.
All right. Well, the lights are off. We'll let you go. Start coordinating. You do have 4 dark horse cars in the top 4 that could spell trouble for the rest of the pack. Somebody needs to get up there. Maybe get a little aggressive with you guys and get you out of the way. I think that's the only way you're going to get you guys apart in this one. What do you say?
I think so. We got it pretty well figured out, I think. The new setup's feeling good, so we'll see what we got for them.
All right. Well, good luck here as we start the green-white checkers.
Thanks, man.
Well, we do only have, we have 3 of them, so besides if guys need to tow, if something happens, it's still 6 laps under green flag. It looks like 16 was about as far as these guys could go. So then when you're under green-white checkers, the laps aren't counting. They're just going to continue to add. So if you have another wreck, guys need to tow. They're going to continue to delay the start to make sure that those guys towing, if they have their fast repairs, are able to get the tow and the fast repair used. So you could be on a 3-4 lap yellow flag there, so making sure you have enough fuel is crucial. You heard the 17 say he thinks he is good to go for this one. As they approach the Geico restart zone, we are green-white checker. We are overtime at Talladega. The Dark Horse boys are up front, but the AWR cars are right there. Could they spoil the party? Let's find out. The green flag is back out. We are green-white checker at Talladega. The 9 pushing the 12 here out there. They're staying side by side, so it looks like the 12 and the 9 are saying we're not going to just let our teammates slide up here in front of us. They're going to stay side by side, try to dominate both lines. Matt Brown, as he has done all night long, trying to go to that 3rd lane He's going to need some help. Zach Cato tries to throw a little bit of a block, thinks better of it. Now Zach Cato has his teammate of the 55 in behind him. Following the 12 and the 9, the 24 is going to jump in front. Now what do? They do not get down in front of their teammates. They want nothing to do with the bottom line here. Not sure if anything is going on in the back of the pack. We have some 3 wide, some cars out of shape coming out of 4, but they all hang on to it. Looks like it is going to be without any chaos here in the trioval. Looks like this will be the final lap from Talladega. Not sure if the 55 and the 8 got caught up in, or excuse me, the 18 got caught up in something. They fell back just a little bit, but right now Trevor Haley's going to lead this thing on the outside with Blaine Snyder, Peyton Snyder, and Nick Bauman on the inside. Here comes the Angry Wives Racing cars with the 357. 357 is going to move to the middle, but the AWR cars are going to the top of the racetrack. Do they have enough help? Now the 17 edges out in front of the, yes, he edges out in front of the 12 here. They have 3 cars on the inside lane. Need Cato to get up there and really help. They need to get down on the door. You see the 88 trying to give a side draft up. That hurt a little bit. Peyton's going to try to move up. Here comes the 12 on the outside. Blaine Snyder and Zach Cato on the outside. When did they make their moves? If they make a move. You heard us say he was nice to him earlier. As they come to the finish, the 9's going to stay right there with him. Trevor Haley's going to be the winner tonight. Blaine Snyder, as the sounds like the 9 may have blown up, coming across the start-finish line. Zach Cato going to go up there and give a love tap to the 12. So, what a final on this one. Zach Cato, another fantastic run for him. I'm telling you, we are just a few races, if not the next race, away from Zach Cato winning one of these things. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's final results. Trevor Haley, Blaine Snyder, Zach Cato, Kyle Cameron. So the Angry Wives cars, so 2 Dark Horse cars, 2 Angry Wives cars, and 2 more Dark Horse cars getting it done. Nick Bauman, 6. Tommy Rogers, a great 7th place finish for him this evening. Daniel Smith, Cameron Young, a great top 10. John Miles finishes out the top 10. Gavin Schilling, Stephen Connor, Evan Perry, Justin Lee Pearson, Ryan Wilson, Jerry Fassett, James Smith. Not the night that we're used to seeing James have here from Talladega. Sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. Matt Brown there as the 12 car is burning it down on the front straightaway here. We'll have to bring in tonight's winner. You see it there. Getting a burnout done. Edge it out. Mr. Talladega going to go up there and smack the front of that car. Kyle Cameron with his burnout. Ricky Miles flying around the racetrack here as the 12 cars burning it down. Let's bring in tonight's winner, Trevor Haley. Well, you said maybe one of your teammates would be nice to you. It looks like that sounded like he blew it up coming across the start-finish line.
Yeah, he blew it up at the line.
He was pushing you. I was wondering if he was going to make his move, if Zach Cato was going to jump out of line. Man, Cato with another great run there. You get one back from Nick Bauman. You kept him pinned down on the inside of the racetrack. It seemed like it was a ton of fun out there tonight.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was me and Blaine versus Nick and Peyton there.
And you had Cato and Kyle. So you had You had 2 pairs of Dark Horse cars. You had 2 pairs, a pair of Angry Wives car, and not too much further behind that, you had some of the SMT cars coming up there.
Yeah, they were trying, man. It was a pretty good race. A lot of fun.
Well, that is awesome. Well, congratulations on tonight's win, Trevor. Another one in the bag for you.
Yeah, thank you. Big shout out to Blaine there for pushing me. That was good.
Well, let's bring in their P2 finisher, and the rod went through the roof there at the end of the race. You were giving Trevor all he could handle there. A great run for you. He said maybe, hopefully, one of his teammates will help him out here for pushing you a stage win. Was that in consideration at the end of the race?
Well, I stole one from him the other day, and I felt like I owed it to him and wanted to make sure Dark Horse got the win here. So I was more than happy to push him all the way to the finish. I'm not too worried about it.
Well, another P2. P2 for you last night, P2 for you tonight. The main event tomorrow night. Maybe you're just saving it for the main event. What do you say?
Who knows, man? We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, another great finish for you here this evening. Thanks for coming out and running with us.
Appreciate it.
I don't believe we have Zach Cato in the chat here this evening. So, want to just give a great shout out to both the Angry Wives racing cars here from Talladega, and yet another strong run for both of those guys, continuing to impress. Zach Cato once again is the biggest mover of the race, up 21 spots there at the end of this thing. So continuing to prove that he can find his way from the back to the front without a problem. Fantastic to see another great run from them. Kyle Cameron, also P4, he's up 5 spots. And the last guy to come and bother in this one, your brother gets the best of you tonight. Only with a P2, though. I don't know. I still think getting a win is a little bit more to rub in the nose, but nonetheless, a great top 5 for you.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I think Nick got side drafted by the by Cato, but nonetheless, heck of a finish. Blaine, I see Blaine's motor blew up coming to the line. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, hey, at least Team Cars got the 1-2, so hey, we'll take it.
There you go. Well, it looks like a majority of the pack right there at the start finish line too. So I was thinking cars were getting sideways in the tri-oval. I thought we were going to have one of those yellow flags right before the start finish line, but nonetheless, congratulations on the top 5 this evening.
Thanks, man.
Well, I should say a little bit different, but a little bit of the same. The 12 car getting it done here this evening. The Angry Wives cars right up there. And for the first time in a long time, Mr. Talladega himself, Nick Bauman in the 88, does not come away with a top 5 here, finish here this evening. We also didn't see James Smith at the end of this thing. He's going to come home 17th. Just caught back, mired in traffic. He is usually a guy up there. You see Ricky Miles right there with him as well. Same thing, the 58. It's hard to say. It's a little bit of a different finish here this evening, considering these are all the regular guys, but you usually see some different numbers up in the front, but at the same time, it is still nice to see these guys putting on some great finishes. The 34 car, it's been a long time coming for him to get a great finish. The 26 of Daniel Smith also with a great run. He's inside the top 10. Kyle Cameron grabbing a good run, and John Miles there as well, grabbing themselves a good finish here this evening. Well, for the first stream on Twitch, I'd say it didn't go too bad this evening. Maybe we'll come back here. Maybe we'll go back to YouTube. Maybe we will simultaneously cast both places if we can get that all sorted out. If you could just do me one of the few favors here this evening. If you could just like the stream, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Twitch has a whole bunch of other initiatives with the bits and all. Trevor's helping me figure that all out. We do have a donate button. If anyone wants to donate to the S&M Iracing series, we will put that money right back into putting up more races, paint schemes, t-shirts, trophies, money races for these drivers to keep this thing going. Well, one last shout out here to D&D Graphics out there again, painting up all these cars. Last week we were lucky enough to have some of the stars of NASCAR here with us. We had Todd Gilliland and Christian Eckes not too terribly long ago running with us at Chicagoland. The legend himself, 3-time Cup Series champion Tony Stewart, jumped in the lobby with us for a race here at Talladega, and Tyler Reddick came home with a P7 in the not too recent past, hanging out with us here. I do know we're not seeing these big names here tonight. It was a password locked out race, but if you join the S&M races, you never know who you're going to see here this evening. Well, another look at the finish here. Not the usual photo finish that we see here at Talladega among these guys. A much cleaner race this evening. A lot more green flag action, which is awesome. I know that's what a lot of these drivers wanted on the finish of these things here. It said now I have, looks like the 55 saying he got P8. Looks like you're coming along the line there, P4. I have you scored as 4th place, so that's what we're going to go with, not 8th. Either way, thanks to the drivers for hanging out in the chat with us here this evening, checking this all out. We will be doing it again tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, the SMT Series is going to have their championship. I don't know why our graphic moved on us there. They have their championship league starting tomorrow night. We will be broadcasting there to start, and then we will move on over to the S&M crowd at the end of this thing, getting it all wrapped up with their main event and more things to come from the S&M Iracing Series as they continue to impress these guys out here. Oh, okay. This all right, so we had ZX Extreme 55 that we have Cameron in the chat. This is the real 55. Now we have a lot of battles for the 24s on the racetrack. Now it looks like we might have some battles for the 55 out there on the racetrack. Well, thank you everyone for coming out this evening. Once again, much appreciated. I know the S&M, all the guys on this series also appreciate going back and taking a look at everyone commenting and checking out these broadcasts. Once again, we will be back at this tomorrow night, somewhere around the 7-ish o'clock time frame, if I'm correct. I'm not 100% sure. We'll get the notification button up there for you guys, and then S&M, as we always have, will be tomorrow evening's main event. Well, thank you guys all very much once again for checking this out. We might do some more Madden. We might just do some other chaotic streaming later on throughout the evening. But for iRacing tonight, that is it. Signing out for CSR Broadcasting. Thank you everyone for checking it out.